Here we go. How's this sound now? Here we go. How's this sound now? There we go. Is this me speaking to myself? I wish I'd polished this up a bit more. So I apologize. This is spur of the moment. And I'm trying to remember how to add share my screen with you. Settings present. There we go. Okay, so we should see Shelby's microsketch card here. He had sent that to me on Friday, and I had gone to San Diego Comic-Con this week. Box not connected. So my computer was unplugged. But here we go. So welcome. This is Dutch. I am the ADHD artist, and it's because I have ADHD. So that's why, and I'm trying to promote more people like myself out there to do that. San Diego Comic-Con was a great time. Had a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of people, new people, see some old friends, some old first time meeting online friends, which was fun. Other artists. Really exhausted. Went there just for a day. Drove up yesterday morning and came back, or not yesterday morning. Sorry, Friday morning. Came back yesterday evening. So that was very whirlwind trip. And I should have actually probably have gone up yesterday morning and then come home today. It would probably have been the better thing to do. So I'll remember that next time I go to San Diego next year. So one of the first things I do with any piece I get from Shelby is I like to get rid of the white. So I have an action. One of the first steps is making sure that this is set to black and white for the background and foreground. Removing the lock on the background and then hitting play on this action, which is available on my Patreon. And you get that. It works for pretty much everyone. There's certain times it doesn't work, and I'm still trying to figure out the bugs behind it. What will happen is it will still do this, break it apart. You won't break it up with the line art, but it will get rid of the white, so it has a transparent background. You just have to move the layers. It'll end up looking like this and switch layers positioning. So let's see where to tackle first. Let's tackle the face. That's red. So I do apologize if I happen to be looking over. Again, I don't have my chat set up. I kind of forgot how to actually do that because, again, this has been a while. Right now, I'm just trying to get some music going here. All right, so let's begin this. So I'm using a tour box. Right now, my Wacom, I don't know if it's because it's age or what, but I'm having some serious issues with the express keys. I've sent it over to their tech support for help. Like I can't hit save. I have to have save across, and all my other setups all the way across. All settings. So like for general, Photoshop, Clip Studio, and it sucks. So I'm hoping they'll have a fix. So one of the big things that you want to do again when you're flatting, once you've got this, is just aim for the center. I'm just using a freeform lasso that's got a little bit of poly, and it's all their tools. It's nothing I'm doing, something unique. It's just technique. So here I made a little mistake somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's up here. So I'm just going back, negative lasso, removing that. I think this is all part of it as well. And paint bucket, drop in that color, and let's go next. So I'm working on things as medium or small to medium to big, and then back from big, medium to small. So it's just a process of when you're flatting. Yeah, San Diego was fun. I think one of the coolest things I saw was they have a transforming Grimlock, and they had a couple of them. And unfortunately, a lot of people were around, and I couldn't get a good, accurate photo of it or a video of it. They had like 4 in a row, transforming and dancing and doing everything else, and it was pretty sweet. I did get one of Optimus doing a couple of moves, busted moves. So we're posting that on my Facebook and Instagram. Again, I'm just putting down some colors here. I'm probably going to change it. I'm just looking. I'm not at this moment really stuck on anything. And Shelby's going to anyways take these and adjust it to his style, his taste. I mean, no way in what I'm doing right now, a finish for myself. I'm just analyzing it and dropping things down. I'm trying to think of like what he might be doing with this, some color theory, etc. But right now, I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things again. Just being gone for a day really takes its toll on you, especially since your body's recovering from walking on those hard concrete slabs at the convention center at San Diego. But it was a great time. It was good to see, and it was actually a comic book convention. I think that was what was the cool part about it. There was no celebrities I could see because Hall H was not being used a lot. There's not a lot of people trying to rush to get in there. There were more people out on the floor, on the buying floor, and I think that was fantastic. And Artist Alley seemed to really got a little squishier. I had volunteered there years ago, and I swore there was like more room between tables, like longer tables, more space. It was in the same area, same space as was in 2012, but there seemed to be more. Everybody seemed to be cramped together. I felt kind of claustrophobic, especially since a lot of them against the walls, which helped them because if somebody wanted to get out, there's a huge crowd, they're stuck, and so that means they'll sit there for a little bit longer, hopefully, and purchase some things. Okay, I'm trying to decide if that's going to be in. Okay, yeah. So I'm starting to see things here now. I was originally looked at this, didn't see the cleavage nor this. I thought it was all part of the armor, but I'm gonna assume this is all her midriff. So I'm doing this in Photoshop. As you see, I'm just, just using a lasso. And again, it's pulling down, I believe, the shift key switches it over to a magnetic, which allows me then to continue my line. And by doing so, I don't have to like make small sections. You might see some other artists doing that where they make a small section like this, swirl background, and then add it back on and keep adding it. And just you're doing many steps. Just do one. Each his own. I mean, you all learn a certain way, but I just thinking it's the best way for me as an ADHD person, and I get hyper focused. So let's just keep running the line. Let's keep going. All right, so let's move this up. Hey, Shelby. Yeah, I know you were just gonna ask. Sorry, man. I got home last night and my legs were just killing me. I actually feel kind of bad because one of Tone Rodriguez's friends needed a ride back to Phoenix. I told him I was leaving a little early because I wanted to get home. I've got a driving issue, night blindness, and pretty much I was so tired and wiped. I didn't have breakfast. Walking on the floor, I was buying gifts and stuff for my kids or kid, and didn't have lunch. So at that point, I was hangry and just in survival mode. So I just stepped. My body just walks. It just does its thing. So I basically got in. I just waited, see if he still needed it, and then by 3, I was on the road. Got home a good time right before it got dark because, man, once it got dark, my night blindness kicked in and it was rough. Yeah, this is not going to take me that long. You know how fast I am with your stuff here. Tanning was a good time. I saw a lot of people. I didn't do any panels, anything like that. Again, my goal was to promote my Wayfarer comic. Really spurred me and motivated me to start working on getting the second issue Kickstarter just launched. I'm probably just going to do maybe a 15-day pre-launch and just try to get it done. That way I can then do the while I'm doing the second one, get the third one going, and get it out the door. Yeah. Actually, I have him as a Facebook friend, and I met Richard Friend, which was great because I had seen his Thursday morning one where he lost the sketchbook portfolio. So we talked a bit and looked over his stuff, and that was cool. I'm Uko Smith or Yuko. I also Facebook friend. I met him. Gave him a card. Saw Mark Brooks, do the same. Adam Hughes again. Pablo or Lobos. Saw him. Saw Norm Rapmoon. And yeah, but Artist Alley is really, really, like I said, really tight. Like they were squished in. And I mean, I thought Phoenix this year was squished in, but they were packed in. It was very strange walking through. Like, so you got kind of stuck. It also did something that was cool too, which is what I've always been telling people here at Phoenix is, place the mainstream artists near the center there, and when they have lines forming up, well, what are those people going to do? They're right next to the other artists, and they can sit and preview some stuff. They're looking at things, and maybe they might hold their spot for their friend while they go look at my stuff down the row. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, 3 feet. Like I said, I volunteered there in 2012, and they were the 8 feet one. they're 8-foot tables. Sorry, 8 feet, 8-foot tables, space between, and I was in the pro section helping out with all the pros, and it was spacious. So seeing it now, it's really jam packed. So I'm just dropping down some colors here. I'm probably going to change them. They're not going to probably be what's here. You're going to change them anyways. So um, I have just been out of it for the last few days. I'm just trying to get back in the swing. And I was talking to a friend. She works at Global Comics. I've seen her on my Instagram, Kat Jackson's, or she's known on YouTube, Art Crumbs. And it was good to finally meet her in person. And she's works for Global, and they flew her down there for the show. So she's hosting a lot of panels. And I decided this when I was there, just before I even met up with her. I'm like, maybe I'll just, while I'm getting this Kickstarter going, I'll just drop the second issue of the Wayfarer down, and you know, talk to their team how to do some better marketing or something about it. But I'm not certain if I'm going to drop down the fully rendered version of the comic or the one like I do with Webtoons, or used to do with Webtoons, which was I would just drop in the flatted layer or flatted end and of the comic pages, I should say, and just drop it in. And so when the Kickstarter goes off, you guys are getting the actual good comic, the real thing. So I might do that. But they also, since they also printed too, if somebody wanted to buy it, I might as well just pull up both versions, or put the full version up. So things to think of. Just trying to get some work ideas done. Trying to be productive this week. Really going there, just seeing everybody, seeing things, is like really spurred me on to get me moving. No, it was a great time. I mean, hanging out again with friends. Had a great time in Little Italy. So cheers to the bar staff at Little Italy Town Hall, I think it is, or sorry, I'm right in the middle of flatting this, or else I look on my phone. It's like a little one-stop restaurant with multiple shops inside, food, etc. And so I stayed, and they were very cool to hang out with. I haven't had that much fun in a long time, closing down a bar. And I should have just slept my car last night. Like I said, and drove up today so I could attended the gala balls and all those other things going on for comic related. Yeah. So this tour box I'm using is pretty cool. It does give me some hand cramps because it's a little wider unit, and I'm not using which version is it? The wireless. It's wired. Hi, Ickby. Flighting is such a tedious process. For me, it's if I wasn't broadcasting this, I would have put on a movie, like again, Big Trouble in Little China, something I've seen a million times, and use that. And that's probably one thing I would recommend if you're ADHD like I am, and you know a movie like the back of your hand, like Big Trouble in Little China, you know when to look at the good scenes and then picture those scenes in your mind. And it goes by pretty quick. I actually just hyper focus. when I'm flatting, so I don't even notice the tediousness of it. Now there are times, yes, there are pages I've done where there's so many things in there that, yeah, you notice 8 hours goes by flatting one page. Um, and that's because you're dealing with if they've got multiple things in the scene. So if it's uh, for example, I love Howard Porter's stuff. The man is a genius, but man, he adds a lot of kitschy things in his drawings, and we've got to do the flash, 50 times in one panel on top of everything. Um, it's like 100 pieces in there. You got to color 100 pieces, and they're not all gonna be the same color. And that's the hard part with being a flatter, is that you don't know what the end product's going to look like if you're not doing the end product, doing the next step, the rendering. So oftentimes, as I mentioned, when I saw like the Scooby-Doo Apocalypse one, um, flatted all the zombie monster creatures, various colors, their clothes, hair, eyes, whatever. And then I got the issue and I looked at it, and the renderer just turned everybody purple. And I was pissed because that took me a good 8 hours to do, because I was, you get chastised sometimes if you don't do it. You don't know what the product's going to look like. So I just end up flatting everything. And but then there's other ones like this where it's just a beaut to work with, because what, I'm just going to fill in everything for them. And there's some things I'll do for Shelby as well that I don't do for a lot of other ones unless they ask me, which is give some depth to things. Oops. That's because with this, I mean, I'm already, what, 2/3 of the way done. So Shelby's, I'll actually go back over and spend some more time adding things in. That extra 5 or 10 minutes I was, crediting me for getting things done. Yeah, Shelby, there's some years I've gotten done within 15 minutes. There's other ones that maybe took me a half hour. Um, but yeah, basically what you're saying there about the turning it all purple. Yeah, I was ticked when that happened. I couldn't believe that. It was not even a spread page. It was the last page of the comic, and they were going like an overpass. So I just got ticked. But the other part too is, it could be the book was running late. I mean, that does happen often with comics. Yeah, see, for a lot of these that I'm throwing down for Shelby right now, I'm probably actually gonna go back over and change them, because I'm not liking what I'm dropping, and they're not really matching anything. So, but I'm selecting them, so it makes it easier to do what Shelby just said about, and go grab it, add a hue, not a hue layer, but change the hue of it all. Yeah, so I'll do that, Shelby. I'll go and add back. Um, Everything is separate blues, and let's see. We'd like to ask that all the background objects are separate hues and selectable, then throwing a blue green all over it. All right, I'll be right back with that. Would you like that supersized too? So it's one thing I noticed as well was I don't know if I would actually be in Artist Alley, if we would be in Artist Alley, or if we'd be in the small press section. I don't know. I don't know if it was Artist Alley was just for artists, not professional, because there was a lot of other artists I don't recognize, but not sure if it was just artists, and then they threw those, let's say, have books into the small press area, and then even then you'd have to try to get, um, like my friend Rafael Navarro had a very sweet setup. Um, it was nice, big, and comfortable, but I don't know if that was part of the small press or because Raf is so big that got a different area, different setup. So I do apologize. Like I said, I'm glancing over at my iPad, which is on, since I did not throw up my chat. So the stream's probably, this flat's going to take a little longer than it normally should. I should have already been done pretty much with everything here. Now, let's see. Let's see, you would have listened to Nintendo 64 OST. Oh, Ichthus. Okay. Hey, all right. Appreciate that, Shelby. All right, Ichthus. Okay, I see that now. But yeah, you also have a hard time pronouncing my my screen name on my personal page. So it's basically like Obi-Wan, but Cyrano Wan, because I'm a big Cyrano de Bergerac fan. So Cyrano de Bergerac and I have, I have a lot of things in common with him from the Edward Ronstadt play, the book, I should say. And um, so it's, yeah, Cyrano de Bergerac. That's right. I get a laugh out of it because everybody always mispronounces as well. I think it's the Wan part of it that they don't understand. Because I used to, back in college, everybody used to call me Obi-Wan. So, for fun. The old days of dating, etc. So the one thing I didn't remember was Shelby has this piece here, so that's I'm gonna separate that out now. Oops. Let's see if I can get this. All right, Shelby got a little bit over. I probably should just grab a rectangle lasso and throw that over there, but all right, so separating that out really helps because now I can then work on the bigger part, which is that huge metal fist. I would not want to get certain things done by this lady with this fist. I was going to take it all the way down and flat it in, but not certain what you want there. Hey, Jay. Sister Fister. All right. That's actually not a bad name, Sister Fister. All right. So I'm going to do this main thing, just flat it all in, and I'll just go in and quickly fill in the rest, and that'll help us go by quickly. So it's not gonna be that long of a stream, but yeah, my friend Catch is like thought I was at 500 or 500 viewers, subscribers. So that's what I'm hoping to get to is 500 subscribers on this channel, as well as for others like yourself and Shelby and everyone to get there. And right now, this will be the golden time because there's not a lot of people watching movies and other crap, so they need their entertainment. So I probably am this week, and I'll probably do a lot of streaming as I get ready for my next Kickstarter. All right, let's see, what are we going with here? Red, got our green in our eyes, purple, got some orange, a little bit of blue. Try and go with that triad, or not quadrants. Doing a bit of yellow for breaking it up. That's a pouch. Let's see. I can change the hair. I thought this was one of those the sisters or whatever, but if it's a different character, I mean, it's all selected. It's easy to do, but I'll do that while I'm here. Instead of red. Easier said than done. Yeah, see, I wasn't certain if those are armor or not, the bicep part. So, easy to rectify that as well. And Sister Fister will go out to the bleed. I will leave the blue background just because that helps me with figuring out when I select it, is there anything I missed? Sometimes, like I said, right now my Wacom isn't operating correctly. So with the last one, I might miss something and it might appear here, so I can see any dancing ants just in case. That's another little trick. But yeah, so again, this is that, it's like when you're drawing, you work big, medium, small. And doing comic pages, I do things differently too. So sometimes my advice on something might be, background to foreground, but then I might do out of the blue, start flattening a character in the foreground for some reason. And usually there's a method behind the madness. For me, when I do that, it's because the background is complex. So if I can eliminate the foreground character, then it makes it easier for me to work in the background. Yeah, he is, isn't he? No, backseat flat, but that's. Hey Shelby, we should do a stream one day where I flat and you flat. We see who gets done first. Same image. A flat off. That kind of sounds like too much flagellance to me. So hoping the next year will bring some good things for me here with work-wise. Talk to some people about the next steps for next year. Yeah, I'm trying to move out of the mailroom here, which I call flatting, into doing some more stuff. So I also do digital inking as well for anybody who's out there. I can't ink for shit with real inks. Not well, but It's kind of one of those things you practice. I'm not as good as say Shelby is, or Mohamed Asra, or um, others. Cold straight seek you. You're like done. Yeah, see, there was a trick that I picked up watching a Marta Garcia video, but it won't work with a lot of your pieces. Since often, or even with most artists I work for or do some stuff with, like say Adam Hughes, who have open lines, you have to go back in and then start, uh, filling in. And even in Clip Studio, when I tried it once with yours, it didn't work as I thought it would. So but there are various techniques. There are different ways of um, doing all this. And again, when you see this from Shelby when it's finished, it's probably gonna be all different in color and look like the shit as it usually does. Pardon me, just got demonetized for my non-monetized setup. Yeah, I missed something here. See, this is what I'm talking about, this lasso. I thought I hit the middle there and did not. Oh, ink washes? That's what I was talking to, and I probably mispronouncing his name. Either it's Uko or Yuko Smith. Um, I'm just jumping in right now with airbrushing, and I did buy an ink wash pen, so you might see some stuff like that for me here. I'm slowly experimenting, um, taking its time, getting there. uh, that's funny. Yeah, I was actually on a very good um, bunch of colorists on Facebook talking about ourselves as colorists getting paid what we deserve to get paid and setting some standards. And the strike really helps bring that on, because I know the animation studio for a lot of companies like Warner Brothers, etc., had a strike not too long ago over the same reasons, and it was overpay. And other countries were, like say in the Philippines, were um, they can go to them and get cheaper labor. May not look right, but it's cheaper, and it really undercut a lot of the value of what was being done here in the U.S. And so, um, I explained that for you can go get somebody from the Philippines, and they do some. There's a lot of people who do great work. I'm not knocking it or anything like that, but I'm always trying to tell them, $4 may get you to your next day, but that won't even get us here in the U.S. or elsewhere to the next hour. Um, and know, so it's really tough. Uh, So I'm hoping, I'm like, charge more, at least charge the minimum, because when I do stuff for my pro work, can't say what I get paid, but dang. And I'm hoping that this next thing that goes through, that I was talking to one person about, if it does happen next year, maybe I might even get credited on it. And again, I give kudos to, and I forgot, I should have the book with me, to the flatter for Spawn, who got full credit just for doing the flats on it for the book. So, I mean, I can always say that when I'm with hi-fi, I do get my credit, my props, and Shelby gives it to me, and Mark Brooks does, and others. So I always appreciate that. Appreciate those people looking out for me. And I just try to do the same for those coming up. I should get Wild Gold Farm. Actually, Jay, that's not a bad idea. I need that. I have not played WoW in a long time. I do need to get back into the game. So if I can get that, that would help. Because damn, it's expensive to live in Azeroth. Now I'm only assuming that this fist is the same. Did I see no in the chat? So sorry, I don't have my chat up on my screen, so I'm having to look over my iPad just to view. But so one of the other things that when I see other people flatting, again, people, you do what you do that makes you comfortable. But I just made multiple selections. It's because it makes it easier. Time go by a little quicker. And here I was working background, and I'm working the foreground. I can just drop in my color on top of this. And then worked again, big, medium, small. Yeah, pay rate needs to be consistent. Let's see. What was the first hi-fi DC book that I got credited on? I don't remember the issue, but it was 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Supergirl. I don't know if it was issue 51, but yeah. So that was the first time. That was actually my tryout page for them. I can't remember what page. I still have it in my archives. Did I grab the wrong color? No, I did grab the wrong color. All right, so I did big boo-boo. So if you're really good at puzzles, like the ones you get at the restaurant, at the diner for kids, then this little trick here, run the maze, helps you out. Again, I'm just making, like Shelby, I've always tell people, even people who are in the industry, when they ask me what a flatter does, making selectable colors. And I'm, again, Shelby's going to change all these and make it like way awesome. I'm probably over flatting things that he's probably like, I'm not going to work on that. Dude, you're making me more work. That's what he's probably thinking right now. What was the pay rate? It varied for like flatting. I was like, if you can do it, the lowest I said to go would be 10. And then I even was like, maybe should go by panel too, because if it's just 6 panels on a page, no background, dude, $10. It's just 2 characters, 1 character on there, easy. That's hard to do. But now if you have 6 panels, a sprawling metropolis, Superman flying over, and there's a ton of windows to color in, rooftop air conditioners color, and then you've got 7 heroes down below in one, and another panel, and 17 heroes in the next. Maybe by panel rate would work. And then for regular colorists, 50 to 70 bucks. I don't know. My rate usually is about 50 to 60 depending on what's being asked and done. But Shelby and those others, answer that. I mean, the lowest I've done is $25 for pinups for colors. Because it's simple. So I was helping a friend out. I'm assuming this is the same chick. So we're... I know there's a site too that has normal pay rates. And I have discounted rates for those who aren't pros. When I flat things, make it easy. Let's see. So I'm sorry if I'm missing things. So like this, you're currently coloring something right now. That's sweet. Gotta post it. Gotta take a look. Yeah, this week for me is just refining things. I really wanted to talk to Terry Dodson, and every time I went to his table, unfortunately, he was not there. I don't know if he was doing panels or what. But I really wanted to talk to him because I really do like his approach to rendering. I'm always trying to go that next step. I cannot do that. Especially when it comes to the, now he does a gradient drop-in when he's adding his rim lighting to make them pop off the character. And I know he uses a lot of, we're going with the lasso, make a lasso selection, gradient tool in, say he's doing skin, for example. And Shelby, I'm gonna ruin your piece here. To do this, grab a gradient, and then see this at the screen. Whoop. Radio, here we go. What the hell? They made some changes to Photoshop now. It's been a while since I've used this. What happened to... Oh. Nope, not working. It's weird. Oh well. Go back to where I was. Just talk about what I was talking about, not trying to show off here. So you guys are talking about that. Yeah. I just did a steel cover, and there was a ton of windows that had to be colored along with the buildings, and just like with a lot of things I'm doing here with Shelby's, had to think about atmospheric perspective. So I'm dropping in as the view goes further back from steel. I drop in the lighter blue, right blue shifts, and that was a lot of fun, but then you also have to get all those windows in, and sometimes they don't even get filled in or rendered. Oh, gotta take that back. So, well, how long has the stream been? Half hour? So I'm probably going to go back through, make some changes of things. Definitely going to go, one thing I usually do afterwards is I will scan through every little section to see if I got everything. Like here, I screwed that up. I'm just making sure I hit everything. There's no missing pieces. Make it look clean because I want it to go back to Shelby and to others looking awesome. And of course, I'm breaking down things that, you'll see Shelby maybe doing a stream of this, coloring it, and then everything all be one solid color. But to be honest, I do that too with anything I get. And I'm actually the Wayfair 5th issue is almost done. Just tightening pencils and doing inks at the same time as I move forward on the book. And I might actually hire out a flatter. And then I'll just render the book myself. Yeah. You do the flats for my black and white edition? Ictus? Yeah. I mean, I'm on Instagram as Dutch Who underscores art, and then artwork by Dutch on Facebook. Oh, I was gonna fill in this. Oh, so what you're seeing here is I have my color picker set, so everything is that's not shown is all RGB, so it's not printable by CMYK. Everything underneath the CMYK, they still exist, those higher colors. I could use them, and I do. I'll go back over there and just drop something in, and but that's why my color picker looks strange. I have it set up that way. I do that because when I sometimes when I'm get work from Adam Hughes, he does everything in CMYK. So, um, in fact, I worked on the Rocketeer 8-page book he put out for Dave Stevens tribute, and did all those, and even some little color selections for when he's going to go to render it. Because like with Shelby, his stuff I also know and like. All right, so I'm going to change this. Too much. Yeah, that did not turn out right. That was actually kind of ugly. Oops. So get that from her crotch. And like I said, I like the just my blue selection chosen, so you can see if there's any dancing ants in here that I might have missed. It does not look like it, so I chose a lot of things. Maybe I might. Let's make it a different shade of orange. Oops. Oh, sweet. I will definitely hit you, do a follow back and look through. Yeah, so Shelby might live stream this later when he's coloring it, and he'll say, look at all this junk. Look at this crap color you chose. I changed it all. I'm so disgusted. I was watching The Devil Wears Prada, so that's the truth. Shelby is like the main character, like Meryl Streep's character. He may seem all nice and cuddly and like that, Dave Grohl like on his streams, but in real life, yeah, he has to get you laundry and everything. So I think that's it. I've put some good colors here. I'm not sure if there's anything else you need me to break down, Shelby. I broke down the different colors in her outfit there, about the grenades and other things around her belt. Maybe I might break that down. So at this point, I'm just looking over everything and then seeing what else I can change up. No, that way I give them more work to do. Yeah, I did look at that Bad Blood one you showed the other day, Shelby, with the, was it Bad Blood? I think it was Lightfield stuff. We were doing some look at the colors and stuff, and yeah, it did have that very painterly feel to it. I thought it looked pretty good. It popped. There's so many different styles I want to learn of how people tackle and color, but right now I'm just trying to get through the one. I just want to make things pop. Um, in fact, I have a scene right now I just came across on YouTube. It's been bothering about my fifth issue, and it's kind of held back my progress completing the page. And it's all the composition just looks wrong to me. My main character is skateboarding through a crowd as she's going to an upper level, and it just didn't. The angle I had, it looked cool, but it's a straight on look, so it's like you're looking at the crowd. If the camera was this position height and you're just watching people going horizontally across. But after I came across this guy on YouTube and he was talking about composition, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I could try this instead. So I'm gonna go back through and probably finish doing that today. Yeah, they are doing a lot of splotch coloring and then going back in with blending. And there's even brushes that they're setting up too that have that, so you can just splotch in. I did notice one colorist was doing that with work on his iPad in Procreate. Just had a brush set up, splotched in, and then it also had it where it was kind of like a color blending. So when you added a different, it kind of blended in the color you just dropped with the color underneath, and it kept creating this cool effect and gave it this rendering. So it was like kind of like kept screening, like with the screen brush, kept adding more light to it, but in a subtle way. So it wasn't so intense of a screen brush. It just looked like it just had a little bit of texture to it. So he's catching like say something flaky like gypsum. The So it's catching the light like little flakes of gypsum. So it was kind of cool watching it. I'm thinking about creating a brush like that as well. Yeah, well, so this is the piece. I'm gonna throw this into Canva and then create a thumbnail for it all. But I do appreciate everybody for coming on and watching me do this, getting back in the thick of things here. So watch out this week. I'll probably be working on the Wayfair throughout the day when I'm not flatting for Marvel or DC or Shelby. And so remember to hit that like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. I'll send this over to you in just a moment, Shelby, so that we can get to work. Thanks, everybody. Jay, Ichthus, Noah. Talk to you guys later.